Hi, it's me again, Cindy Kiner with the HR Connection. I'm recording today from my favorite place right now, the front porch, and a lot of work gets done out here during the spring, summer, and fall, and in honor of all of you who are working from home right now, I thought this would be appropriate. And that said, I'm not going to apologize for any background noises that you might hear, like birds singing or dogs barking or wind chimes. So we're going to dig right into our first HR question for the day. The first one is, can I take my employee's temperature when they come to work? The answer to that is, under normal circumstances, you would not be able to, because it would be considered a medical examination, and the ADA does not allow that unless it's job related. However, because the CDC and federal, state, and local authorities have issued precautions, it is allowable at this time. You have to maintain all the information as confidential, so be very careful with the information that you do get on that. Also, remember that not everybody who has a temperature has COVID-19, and not everyone who has COVID-19 has a temperature. So keep that in mind as you make those decisions. Question number 2, am I allowed to require employees to leave work or stay home if they have symptoms of the coronavirus? The answer to that is absolutely yes. Please do that. The CDC states that those employees should leave the workplace, and the ADA at this time would normally not agree, but at this time they're not interfering with that decision. Next question is, what if I have an employee who doesn't want to come to work because he or she is afraid of contracting COVID-19? This is where it gets a little bit sticky. If you have a healthy employee with no symptoms of COVID-19 and they're afraid to come to work because they might contract it, it depends on what kind of industry you're in and what kind of precautions you have taken. If they're in a high-risk industry, they might have more of a claim for that. The OSHA actually has classified this as 4 different categories, and they range from very high to low. And those employees with very high risks may potentially have a claim for that. So you have to do everything that you can to take precautions and to let your employees know what they can do to protect themselves. Obviously a lot of employers they're working out of necessity right now, especially healthcare, and you don't want your employees to be harmed at work, but yet you need them. So do everything that you possibly can to protect them, whether that be letting them know how often you clean, cleaning extra, using the correct kinds of cleansers according to the instructions, giving them personal protective equipment that they might need to do their job. If you're going to require them to wear masks or respirators, that's a different story, because you will have to put a written program in place. So consider the fact that you would need to actually have a program before you do that. But if you allow them to do it voluntarily, you don't have to have a written program. If you decide to discipline or terminate an employee because they refuse to come to work on those grounds, you should definitely call your attorney first and get legal advice. Whether or not employees would be able to get unemployment in that situation depends on each different situation. It depends on the risk the employee was in, their specific situation, how much protection you gave them as an employer. So be ready to prove that you have put precautions into place if that would happen. The next question is, may an employer require an employee who exhibited symptoms of the coronavirus to provide a doctor's note certifying their fitness for duty before returning to work? The answer is yes. EEOC has a pandemic response policy, and under that, employers may ask that. And it has to be, as long as it's not disability related, it has to be related to the pandemic, and it has to be a severe pandemic as this one is. As a practical matter, though, you need to remember that doctors and other health professionals are extremely busy right now, and providing fitness for duty documentation is not high on their list. So you may have to be a little flexible in how you treat that, and maybe allow an email or allow a phone call or something else that can be documented rather than something really official. So just keep all of that in mind as we go through this. So that's the last question for today, but I just wanted to say that we are going to get through this, and we all need to do our part. The more we do our part, the faster it will happen. So it's going to be tough for a while, and it's going to be extremely painful, some more for some than others, but we will get through it if we do it together. So to keep up with our videos, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out my website. Email me with any more questions, or post questions below if you have something that you'd like to see an answer to. I'll be going into more of the legislation again in tomorrow's video. So until then, thanks.